This is a great question. Jazz asks, any thoughts on the changes they've just announced to the shunning requirement? So Jehovah's Witnesses have been around for about 150 years, since the late 1800s. And they've really been set on sticking to the rules. Women wearing modest dresses, men in full suit and tie, constantly reminding women that they need to be in submission or subjection to the man, as the man is the head of the household. Decade after decade, it felt like most others were progressing while Jehovah's Witnesses were not. And this would be especially hard on people who never chose to be part of the Jehovah's Witnesses in the first place, like those born into it, which I know firsthand. I remember in the 90s, my father wore a blue dress shirt, light blue, on stage, and he got in trouble for it because at that time, you were only allowed to wear white dress shirts. Talk about the most ridiculous rules. Have you ever tried to do a plank? Now, if you're into fitness and you're choosing to do planks, you can probably hold it for a while. Now, if you took people who were not into fitness, who had no interest in exercise, and you told them they had to do a plank hold, they don't even want to do it in the first place. But you say to them, okay, just 30 seconds, just hold it for 30. And they're like, okay, fine. But once they get to 30 seconds, you're like, no, 60 seconds. And you keep extending the time that they have to hold the plank. Now, not only are they extending the time, they start adding weight to your back, weight plates. How long do you think before people start dropping out? It's getting harder and harder, especially for those who didn't even want to participate in the first place. It actually feels impossible. Before you know it, people are dropping out and there's only a few left participating. If your mission was to have a lot of members, you're going to need to start reducing the amount of weight you've put on their back. My oldest daughter just heard me making this video and came downstairs and said,
I was just thinking that a good thing to add to this video is that you tell them that there's going to be a reward, but there isn't actually a reward. Like, there's no way you can guarantee it. They just have to believe that there's going to be a reward. And that's how you get them to do the plank.
Yeah. So over the last couple decades, they started allowing men to wear different colored dress shirts. When I was young, there were 3 meetings a week, and then they reduced them down to 2. They used to have 8-day conventions, and now they're 3-day. I think it was a few months ago that they announced that men can now have a beard. They no longer have to keep track of their field service time or hand in field service reports. And then as of more recently, I hear that men don't have to wear a tie. Women can wear pantsuits instead of their modest dress. I don't know if it's true, but sneakers in service. What? And then the one that Jazz is referring to is the shunning requirement, that they're supposedly allowed to acknowledge disfellowshipped ones. But if you watch the video, they're not allowed to have a conversation or associate with them in any way. To me, this is too little, too late. If we want to talk about progress, how about we get rid of disfellowshipping altogether, as well as public reproving talks? That would be progress. How about we stop tearing families apart? It's the year 2024. We're not in the 1800s anymore. Can you believe how long it took them to allow men to have a little facial hair and for women to wear pants?